Marauders for the Month by lishiee. Chapter 4, Lily's Revenge. Lily expected to be the first one of the dungeons, seeing as there were about 20 minutes until dinner started. She was mistaken though. Pandora was standing off in a corner, relatively close to the entrance of the Slytherin common room. It was at that moment that Pandora waved her over. Lily realized she had not been alone with the girl, ever, and yet she still walked over and placed herself against the same wall Pandora was leaning against. Pandora was gazing over at her. Her hair was up in a loose bun, wand stuck through the middle, and a few strands were falling around her face, framing it perfectly. How the fuck did Mary ever get work done with Pandora sitting next to her? Honestly, Lily was forgetting why exactly she was here. The girl was silently observing her. From the 3 days Lily had known Pandora, she could tell Pandora did this a lot. She never meant it in a rude way. No matter, it was very distracting for Lily. Thankfully, before Lily forgot her bloody name, Pandora spoke. "Are you excited?" "I'm quite excited myself," the girl smiled. "Small talk?" Lily could do small talk. "Yeah, I'm excited. Severus has had karma coming for years." Pandora nodded her head and then leaned it against the wall, lightly closing her eyes. How was she so fucking ethereal? And with that, how had Lily never noticed her? Lily has been everywhere in the school, seen about everyone in her year and the year below, yet she swears she's never seen Pandora before Saturday. Suddenly, Lily remembered a small fact that she had glossed over. Pandora knows Remus. Interesting. Remus has eyes. Lily knows this because he is dating Sirius Black for Merlin's sake. So why did he never say anything to her? "How do you know Remus?" Lily asked in the most nonchalant way she could muster. "He's my partner in Care of Magical Creatures. I'm not sure why he sat next to me on the first day of class. Not many people sit next to me in classes." Pandora started to twirl one of her loose strands of hair around her finger, which made her bangles make the same amazing noise they made the first time they met. For Lily's sanity, she might have to ask her to not wear them around her. Disregarding the bangles, Remus was a dead man the next time Lily sees him. A year? A whole year. Honestly, he didn't even think to let her know. The disrespect. Maybe it was because Lily told him that she wasn't going to date again until after school so she could focus on all her classes. But she did not care. If Lily had met Sirius before Remus did, she would have made sure to inform him of Sirius's existence. Lily made a mental note of this and continued talking to Pandora. "People don't sit next to you in classes. Do you know why?" Lily glanced over at her. "Not really. It's been like that since first year. I don't mind though." "Oh, you like being by yourself then?" "Suppose so. It's very calming," she sighed. "I do like hanging with Regulus, Dorcas, Barty, and Evan though. They're very nice to me." She was smiling now. "Do you only hang out with Slytherins?" Pandora hummed. "The Ravenclaws don't like me very much." "Ah." Lily ran her hand through her hair. "How did you become friends with the Slytherins?" Pandora seemed to think a little, as if she forgot when they had met. "Herbology, 2nd year, I think. Regulus was my partner." Lily hummed in acknowledgement. The two girls fell into silence. Pandora re-leaned her head against the wall and started to lightly trace her bangles. Lily spent the rest of the 15 minutes until dinner watching Pandora do just that. Right when the clock struck 6, Slytherins poured out of their common room. In hindsight, it was probably best that Mary and Marlene didn't show up early. There were possible reasons for Lily and Pandora to be outside the Slytherin common room, Lily being head girl and Pandora hovering around the common room daily. The Slytherin students ignored them, except for a blonde and brunette duo who waved at Pandora. A girl she vaguely recognized as Dorcas, and, of course, Regulus. The boy had the same shock on his face that he had last night when Lily mentioned Pandora. Lily had to hold back the urge to stick her tongue out at him. Mary and Marlene showed up around 5 minutes after dinner started. Mary with the map clutched in her hand. They walked up to the other two girls and fully opened the map. Hovering over it, all the girls checked to make sure there was no stragglers in the common room. "You ready, Pandora?" Mary asked. Pandora nodded her head and walked over to the portrait hole, whispered the password, and entered. The girls watched her name slowly enter the common room and then slowly walk in the path of a star. "I'm guessing that's a signal?" Marlene asked. Mary shrugged her shoulders and handed the map to Marlene. "Why are you handing the map to me?" Marlene looked at her skeptically. "Because you're keeping watch," Mary answered matter-of-factly. Marlene's jaw dropped and she crossed her arms. She jutted her chin out defiantly. "Pandora knows where Snape's room is, and this prank is for Lily," Mary scoffed, taking the same stance as Marlene. Merlin, they were dramatic when they wanted to be. "And why can't you take watch?" Marlene glared. "I have the head eye and potion." Lily rubbed her temple. "How would this become a fight?" "Well, then give me the head eye," Marlene sneered. "Here we fucking go." "I made it," Mary screeched. Why don't we just fucking shout?" Lily whispered, stepping in between them. "If you two don't remember, we're a bit of a time limit. Marlene, just take watch, yeah?" Marlene opened her mouth to retort, but Lily held her finger out. "No time for this bullshit." "Mary will take watch next time. Or me, or Pandora. Just take one for the fucking team this time, Moles." Marlene shut her mouth this time and snatched the map from Mary, shooting her a glare. Mary smirked at her and sauntered off to the common room entrance. Lily followed behind her, holding back the urge to smack the back of her head for riling Marlene up. When they entered the common room, Pandora was still walking in the shape of a star. She stopped when she caught sight of Mary and Lily walking over to their side. "Lead the way," Lily smiled. Pandora smiled back and took a big step forward. The girls led them up the stairs and to a dorm that was a long way down the hallway. The whole time she was taking large steps and skipping. The door was surprisingly unlocked and they walked right in. One thing they did not take into account was how to tell which shampoo belonged to Severus. He was in a room with Mulciber and Avery, both of who are wealthy, so Lily decided she would pick the cheapest looking one and hope for the best. Pandora went and sat on a couch in the corner of the room, twirling her wand around, while Mary and Lily went into the bathroom. Mary pulled out a bag and its contents. Lily recognized that bag. "Is that my fucking bag with the extension charm?" Lily gaped. "Needed to borrow it. For the prank," Mary smirked. That bag had been gone for months. Mary was so lucky they had to be quiet right now. Mary handed Lily the bleach and dye, then headed over to the sink. Lily stepped into the shower, praying her shoe didn't make a shoe print. She skimmed the shampoos and conditioners. There was one shampoo and one conditioner Lily recognized as Muggle products. Seeing as Mulciber and Avery were arrogant purebloods, those had to be Severus's. Lily dumped the contents of the two bottles Mary gave her into their respective products. She closed the caps and shook them both vigorously before placing them back on the shower ledges, making sure to put them exactly as they were. She stepped out right as Mary was pouring her potion into toothpaste. The girl closed the cap and placed it back on the counter. "I'm counting on Snape swallowing some of his toothpaste," Mary giggled. With the vial and both bottles empty, the girls rushed out of the bathroom and softly closed the door. They waved at Pandora to follow and exited the room. Creeping into the common room, relief filled Lily's body. They hadn't got caught. Right as she had that thought, she heard Marlene's muffled voice through the portrait. "Yes, Slughorn, I do know that it's dinner time." Lily couldn't make out Slughorn's voice. "Yes, I know it looks weird that me, a Gryffindor, is down in the dungeons." The girl sighed. Very loudly, mind you. Mary, Lily, and Pandora were pressed up against the wall that was connected to the entrance. There was no way they were getting caught right now. They'd gotten so far. Yes, I'll follow you to your office. Lily heard the receding footsteps as Pandora lightly pushed the portrait open. Mary squeezed past her and picked up the map from the floor. Thankfully, Marlene had used her brain and discarded the map onto the ground, so Slughorn wouldn't confiscate it. Pandora and Lily left the Slytherin common room and stood by Mary, who was pocketing the map now. "We are never going to hear the end of that," Mary sighed, pointing in the direction that Marlene and Slughorn went off in. Lily nodded her head solemnly. Goodbye to the sleep she thought she was getting tonight. On the bright side, the prank was possibly successful. They would have to see tomorrow. "We'll see tomorrow at breakfast then," Pandora chirped. Both girls nodded, and then Pandora was on her way, skipping through the halls once again and heading for dinner. "Interesting one, isn't she?" Mary chuckled, starting her walk towards the Great Hall. "Very," Lily sighed. The next morning, Lily, Marlene, and Mary all headed to breakfast together. It was a later time than Lily was used to. She did not like this, but they had to go at this time to ensure seeing Severus. The girls took their seats at the table and waited. Marlene immediately started her complaining again. "Detention? He didn't even catch me with anything," Marlene scoffed, piling food onto her plate. Mary rolled her eyes, joining the girl in grabbing food. Marlene did have a point, though. Slughorn probably shouldn't have given her detention. The only thing she did was not go to dinner and hang around the Slytherin common rooms. It was suspicious, but not anything wrong. In the middle of Marlene's spiel about how she did nothing wrong, Pandora plopped down in the seat next to Lily. The girls said nothing and started to pile food on her plate. Marlene paused for a moment, but immediately continued, unbothered. The girls all ate and listened to Marlene's complaining until they heard a few whispers coming from the Slytherin table. Lily looked up to see Severus with a hat yanked down over his head, not even a wisp of hair showing. This was a good sign. The hat would have been a problem, except, "Mr. Snape, no hats, you know this," Slughorn scolded, striding over to Severus and tugging the hat off. What a fucking reveal. Lily's mental image was spot on. His hair was still greasy, but this time it was bubblegum pink. It was too good. The Great Hall was silent for a second, from pure shock, and then erupted into laughter. Lily could hear a few of the Slytherin students heckling Severus as he snatched his hat, yanked it back on, and took a seat. Mary, Marlene, Lily, and Pandora were having the time of their lives. Marlene was howling with laughter, clutching her stomach, and Mary, to keep herself upright. Pandora was giggling, attempting to hide her growing smile. Mary was clutching onto the table to keep her and Marlene upright, and laughing so hard there were tears. Lily was thoroughly enjoying this. She didn't think she would ever stop laughing. James, Sirius, Remus, and Peter seemed to be enjoying this too. They were all laughing and heckling Severus. They were also whipping their heads around and scanning the Great Hall, attempting to find the culprit. Obviously, they wouldn't suspect the girls. At least for now, they wouldn't. The laughter died down after a good 5 minutes, and everyone went back to eating. The product of the prank may have only been 5 minutes, but it was the best 5 minutes of Lily's life. Karma's a bitch. The girls quickly finished eating and immediately rushed out of the Great Hall, making sure to not draw attention to themselves. They went outside and walked over to a hill. Sitting in a circle, they all looked at each other and burst into laughter again. "We have to keep doing pranks," Mary got out between sharp intakes of air. "Agreed," Marlene giggled. "I second," Lily smiled. "I third," Pandora chirped. So it was settled. The first prank was successful, and the next one would be, and the next, and the next. This was so fun. Thanks for listening.